Hello. Today we are going to be solving the problem 2 sum. It is also Leetcode 1. So first problem. Given an array of integers, nums, uh, and an integer target, return two indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. So there is an an, uh, array. So if you know what is an array, it's a simple collection of similar kind of entity. So here we have an array of integers. So first is 2, 7, 11, and 15, and our target is 9, right? So what we need to do in this problem is we need to find any two numbers in from this array such that they add up to 9. Also, we have given that there will be exactly one solution. So there cannot be like 2, 7, and 3, 6, 4, or all the four numbers in this array. So there's going to be only one solution, one pair of numbers that add up to 9, and we can return in any order. So for index we can say 0 comma 1 or 1 comma 0. We are going to be solving this using Java. I hope you know the basics of Java. um, okay, so to do this, first approach what we can do is we can loop through the array. We can loop through this entire array 2, 7, 11, 15, and we can check for 2. We can go ahead from to the entire array and check if we have. So the approach would be, what would we need? Like to make it 9, from 2 to make it 9, we would need 9 minus 2, that is 7. So we would need 7 to, so we can check the entire array if we have 7 or not. Okay, so if we get 7, then we can take the index of both, and that would be the what would be our answer. So but it uses two nested loops, so that would be n square time complexity. So we need to make it faster. So what we can do, so what we are doing here currently using two loops is we are going to the entire array again and again and again. So for when we are starting using two, so if we take a loop for I equals to 0 to say n, that's the size, and then again we take a loop for j equals to I plus 1, so from the next element to n, right? So if we are doing this kind of stuff, so for say we are using 2, then moving on, I is 2, and for I equals to 2, then j gets 7, 11, 15. Then we again go to I equals to 1. So that's 7, array of I equals to 7. And for 7 we again go 11 and 15. And then for 11 we again go 15. So we are repeating, visiting again and again. So it would be nice, we can notice that if we have some sort of memory, like once we visit 2, if we remember that we have already visited 2 and it was at this index. So if we have some sort of memory like this, so when we get to 7, we can check if we have 2 or not. And if we have 2 already, then we can just return. We don't need to check again and again and again. So that would be our approach to solving this. So how can we keep a memory? The most efficient way to keep a memory is using hash map. Also, we are using hash map and not hash set that shows only one number, because we need the number itself and also the index, right? We need both of them. That's why you will be using hash map that stores in a dictionary like thing. So it you have one key and one value, right? So we'll be using hash map for this. To do this, let's find, first we'll need the size of the num. So int n equals to nums dot length, right? And then we would need a hash map, right, to store. So um, hash, we would also need to output. The output is stored in integer array, right? So we'll need that too. Integer, let's name it res equals to new and size is 2, right? So we can traverse through nums for int I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, traversing through the length of integer nums. And what we can do is we can check if the okay, here I have written months instead of nums, so nums. Yeah. So for each element, what we need to do, like 2, we get 2. We need to check if there is 7 or not, right? So if the array contains 7, so if my map mp dot contains key, how do we get 7? That is my target minus the element that I'm currently in, that is array of I. If this exists, if contains this, so we can directly return. We can add. We can add to rest, or we can also directly return. So okay, I'm going to directly return here. Directly return. What do I need to return? I need to return index of both the elements, right? So the in and in an array, so it would be new int and index, current index is I, and the index of this element, that is target minus array of I, would be mp dot get sim target minus array of I. Okay. So, and also when we have seen the element, we need to store a memory. If we are here, we are checking if it's already present in the memory, and if it's not already present in the memory, okay, we can move to the next element. But first, we need to store this element, the current element we are at, in the memory, right? So to do that, we'll add mp dot put. I'll put this element, that is array of I, and its index, that is I, right? So we have, see, the array would have exactly one solution. So we'll go inside this if somewhere in the program and return. They have not said what to do if the array like doesn't have any solution, because that would not exist in the test case. So we can say like return null here, because for the syntax we need like that is our return is inside if statement, we need to return something else also. Let's run this. Okay, there's an error, can't find simple array. Okay, so here our array is named actually nums, but I have written array nums, and yeah. Okay, so we can see all the 3 test cases passed. Let's submit this. You can see our solution has been accepted, and it beats 99%. So yeah, we are done here. Thank you.